Hi there, I'm Julie Bastide of The Christian Working Woman, and today we're talking about what really matters, our worldview. Do you realize that the way each of us acts and thinks flows out of our worldview? It shapes nearly everything we do, and it's affected by our culture, how we grew up, our families. So, what is a worldview? It's really just what we believe. Oxford.com defines it as a particular philosophy of life or conception of the world. It is a collection of attitudes, values, stories, expectations about the world around us. And this informs our every thought and action. So, whether we're aware of what our worldview is or not, we each have one. The question is, how do we define our worldview? And as a Christian, we have God's Word to guide us. Some of the foundational questions that shape our worldview are: where does life come from? What happens after we die? What's the purpose of life? And is there a God? So our worldview matters because it has consequences. What we believe matters. For example, as a Christian, I believe that we're all made in the image of God, and so this belief should affect the way I treat others and how I think about them. As a Christ follower, I also believe that the meaning of life, or my purpose, is to know and love God and love others. Jesus told us in Matthew 22, "You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your mind. This is the great and first commandment. And the second is like it. You shall love your neighbor as yourself." Our worldview is not just a theoretical idea. It changes the way we respond to things, from natural disasters to difficult coworkers, from evil in the world to heartache and dashed hopes. It affects all areas of life, prioritizes our work, finances, family, relationships, affects our thoughts and attitudes, and it defines how we respond to difficult situations. So as a Christ follower, is your worldview impacting your workplace? Are there inconsistencies in what you believe and what you do? For instance, do you believe lying is a sin? But then do you find yourself telling a little lie to make yourself look better or not get blamed for something or something you should have done or did? I mean, I get it. We all have struggled with this in one way or another, and we need to be mindful of what influences are creeping into our worldview. We need to measure everything against the truth of God's Word. And to do that, we need to know what God's Word says. We need to read it daily, study it, spend time meditating on it, hiding it in our hearts, and being in community with others. So I encourage you to think about how you view the world, because it matters and it affects everything you say and do.